What's happening? This is Brian from Shadows Fall, and you're watching MPJ.
So your band name, Shadows Fall, actually comes from a comic or a graphic novel. So whose idea was that?
Yeah, Matt's just a thief and just stole it because he couldn't think of anything on his own. So it was before I was in the band. He was just looking for a name that didn't sound too death metal or too hardcore at the time, because we were kind of in between all those scenes, but we wanted something that sounded metal, but not necessarily like one subgenre or another. So like we wouldn't kind of be pigeonholed as like a death metal band if we called it like, you know, Bloody Dripping Corpse or something, or it sounds too hardcore by calling it like, you know, like something tough sounding. So he just thought it was like kind of a cool in between. But I always tell people we stole it from the Dawkins song The Hunter, from the lyric When the Shadows Fall, but that's just a lie.
Like, was he a fan of the series?
Yeah, he was a fan, and just thought it was a cool name, and it was a short run thing, so it was only like, I think there was only like 5 or 6 of them.
So your song, The Light That Blinds, it's featured on Guitar Hero. So who got that going? Who got that started?
Yeah, I don't know, they just contacted us when it came out with Guitar Hero 2, and that was when that kind of, that whole brand was kind of building. You know, after the first one it did really well, and 2 got a little bigger. Now it's even bigger and bigger. So at the time what was cool is all the other songs were done by cover bands, so they actually used our original track though, which was kind of cool. And at first it was like a bonus unlocked one because it was all crazy. So we're all terrible at it though. I'm not much of a Guitar Hero person myself.
Oh really? You don't play
I've played it, but like I'm not very good at it. So, and I know recently we did like some free downloads for the Rock Band stuff too. So
cool.
Yeah, video games are kind of one of the only ways to get out your music these days, like as opposed to record sales, because no one actually buys records; they just steal it off the internet.
Right.
So this way, kids actually, you know, it's definitely becoming a new way to get your music out to kids.
So you released your first DVD, The Art of Touring, in 2005, and then you just recently released?
We got one coming out. Yeah, it hasn't come out yet.
It was scheduled to come out.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out in August. It's actually getting pushed back again. Okay. We found a bunch more footage we want to include, so we're going back and re-editing some stuff. And yeah, the new one was shot live in the Philippines, in Manila, at a festival. And then we're going to include some other footage from that tour. Like we did Korea, we did a television show there, and a few other random stuff. And it was cool. Yeah, it's our first kind of like multi-camera like type of shoot. The original DVD, The Art of Touring, was more like home video style, like just like us. It was literally our footage that we filmed from our cameras, and a bunch of other random stuff. So this one's our first kind of more like slick, full concert one.
Oh, cool. So
yeah.
how is that? Because I know it's called Madness in Manila. So
yeah, it was
really crazy?
It was crazy. There was like 25,000 plus people there. It was in a soccer stadium where Muhammad Ali had fought the original Thriller in Manila, like back in the day. So it's definitely a cool place. And yeah, it was, production-wise, it was huge. They built this like crazy paper mache skull that was a total fire hazard that had like fire shooting out of the eyes. Right over our drummer, and they also had all these pyros and explosions, but we didn't practice any of it, so none of it was rehearsed. We actually really didn't know exactly when any of these things were blown up.
Oh man.
So yeah, it was definitely madness, but it was a sick show. It was the first time we played a few of the songs from the most recent record, Retribution, live for the first time, so it was cool.
So nobody got hurt during that?
No, we all survived. Yeah, there was no Michael Jackson moments. No one's hair went up. But it was definitely like, I just pretty much stayed away from all the flash pots in general, and just figured they'd go off at some time and I'll just stay away.
So it was like a surprise, you're playing and like boom, it would... Yeah,
like we knew sort of what songs had stuff happening, but we didn't know what the cues were. If they knew what the cues were, they were kind of just going for it. So yeah, it was cool though. It looks awesome.
So how were the fans then? Were they very receptive?
Oh yeah, the Filipino crowd's awesome. That was our second time there, and both shows were amazing. So it's definitely, that scene's building pretty big over there. Philippines is a cool place. I didn't realize until we got there that, like, you know, English is the national language, and so it was really easy to go in that way. We got to travel around to some of the smaller islands and do some vacation stuff there while we were there, which is very rare on tour. Normally you see the city and then you're out the next day, you know, so we actually got to hang out for a few days. So it was pretty killer.
It's nice there, right?
Oh, it's beautiful.
The beaches are nice.
Yeah,
stuff,
it's beautiful.
Got a tan.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's hot there, right?
It was hot, but yeah, we were right on the beach, so it was mellow. In the city, it was pretty sweltering though.
So now, again, you mentioned your newest album, Retribution, what was released in 09. What do you have? Do you have any plans to release any new singles from that, or are you planning?
No, I think we're kind of done with videos and singles and stuff. We're gonna tour it out through till the fall, like, you know, after this Mayhem tour, and then maybe do one more tour, and then we're gonna start thinking about when we're gonna get in the studio for a new record. So yeah, because Retribution came out in September last year, so we'll pretty much do a full year of touring. We'll take a little time off and then start working on some new stuff.
That's cool. So how has the Mayhem tour been for you guys?
It's been killer, man. It's great to be back on a festival tour, a bunch of bands. We haven't done one since Ozfest 2005, so it's been a while. It's great. The lineup's killer from beginning to end.
Yeah, it is.
And it's run really well. It's been brutally hot though. We've been following the world's worst weather patterns. Like everywhere we've gone, it's been like 95 plus and humid. It's just been brutal.
It's bad to play in that.
Yeah, it got up to 119 on stage in Phoenix, which was insane. So, but one of the worst ones was Connecticut the other day. It was so humid that everyone was just dripping in sweat the entire day.
We were there.
Yeah, it was brutal.
It was 100 degrees with, I think it's at 100%.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Humidity.
You literally, there was just beads of sweat on you at all times. It was so disgusting. But it was a great show. It was one of the best ones. It was probably the most packed too. I think there was close to 20,000 tickets sold. So It was definitely a sick show. But it was like playing a sponge made of sweat. It was awful. Yeah, the DVD is going to be coming out in hopefully September, October, depending on how long editing takes. Till then, you can just keep up with us on Twitter or Facebook. It's Brian Shadfall or Shadows Fall Band, either one of those, and see what we're up to, and just drop a line, say hello. Till then, we'll just be on the road till probably maybe November, December.
So you're going to Europe with the Mayhem tour?
No, we're doing Mayhem, and then we got a little break, and then we're going to be doing some stuff on our own. So.
Thank you so much for doing the interview with us.
No problem.
And this has been a video edition of Musician Photojournal. And support your artists, buy their album,
yes,
buy their iTunes.
iTunes.
Yeah, buy some for your friends because they'll love you if you do. So.